Welcome to another high exclusive on Daily Mirror. My name is Deema and I have three distinguished personalities from Reckitt, Sri Lanka sitting here with me today. I have with me the Head of Marketing, Mr. Shaminda Perera. Also with me is Ms. Chathurika Fonseka, Marketing Manager, Mr. Tehan Samarasinha, Marketing Manager. Welcome and thank you for being on the show with me. So we'll start with you, Shaminda. Give me a brief description about Reckitt Sri Lanka and its purpose here as well.
Reckitt Sri Lanka has made significant impacts to the lives of Sri Lankans for the last 6 decades or more. So every day millions of consumers are using Reckitt brands in their day-to-day lives. So Reckitt is driven by its purpose to protect, heal and nurture the lives of humans around the world. So what we believe is that we have a portfolio which can make significant impacts on 3 big pillars. To name them, they are health, hygiene and nutrition. So in the health portfolio, you will see the iconic brands such as Dettol, Strepsils, Durex, Wheat is being categorized. And as you are aware, Dettol has been one of the very closest brands that people use in their day-to-day life, which has a significant impact to protect from the germs which can cause various illnesses. In the hygiene portfolio, we have brands such as Lysol. We also have brands like Harpic, which has been used by millions of consumers for cleaning their household purposes. Also on the nutrition platform, we also have brands like Sustagen, which is a brand driven by heritage for hundreds of years in Sri Lanka. Also the brands like Enfa, which is given for children to ensure that they get the right balance of nutrition and the stimulation which is required. So these are the 3 big pillars that we operate in Sri Lanka. And also if you look at the global pandemic, the brands like Dettol, Harpic, Lysol played a very significant role to ensure and to keep the lives of Sri Lankans better and healthier.
Perfect. Now I'll come to you, Chathurika. Now 2022, the year has been a phenomenal year for you. You've had a momentous moment where your brands like Strepsils and Dettol has been received well by your marketing fraternity. So tell us a little bit about the recognition and the awards that you have received.
Actually, the last year has been a great year for RB brands in terms of awards and recognition. So I think the best news that we received was that Dettol was recognized as the most loved brand in the country by LMD's annual brands review. So this is actually very encouraging and heartening because it really validates the work that we have put in for the last decade or so in terms of all the consumer-centric work we have done. Additionally, we also 2 brands, that is Dettol and Strepsils, was recognized at the FE Awards recently for 2 of the campaigns that we did. Dettol was recognized for social media and influencer marketing for Dettol's hand wash challenge campaign, and also Strepsils was recognized across 3 categories for the Wish I Had a Strepsils campaign that we launched recently. Also, Dettol won 3 silver awards at the Slim Digis that were held at the beginning of the year, again for the Dettol hand wash campaign. So like I said, it's very encouraging to receive these awards and accolades across various platforms. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank everybody and appreciate everyone who's been a part of this journey, not within Reckitt only, but also our agency partners as well.
Sounds fantastic. Now the next question is for both of you. Can you elaborate a little bit about the approach that you take towards reaching out towards the consumer?
Yes. So what we have done is that we have looked at each of the activities that we do on the consumer front. What is that the impact that we would make to the consumers with those kind of activities? So if you look at over the years, we have offered a range of trusted brands in these 3 pillars which I spoke to you earlier, and each of these brands has its own purposes. So our objective is to ensure that we live up to that expectations of the brand deliveries. So I think looking at the overall aspects of what we have done in terms of marketing, we have done tremendous work to ensure that we make significant influences to the consumers in terms of brand deliveries, in terms of getting them to use the brand and to ensure that the brands thrive in the hearts and minds of the consumers?
Yeah, so I feel that consumer well-being is actually at the heart of everything we do across all our brands, and consumer education also plays a really important role. So if you look at the last 1 to 2 years, for example, with the pandemic coming in, what we noticed was that the importance or the prevalence given to maintaining your safety, health and hygiene was becoming increasingly important for everybody. And also the challenges of actually getting our products across to our consumers in a challenging time like this, and ensuring that they are educated enough to use our products in a way to meet these challenges. Because this was actually a national crisis, and as a leading healthcare brand in the country, we realized that we needed to sort of step up and change our game plan as to how we approach this challenge. So in everything we did, basically, whether it was our purpose-driven activities or our new product development, innovations, and sales and marketing, distribution, all these strategies really focused on addressing the challenges at hand and as to how we can actually serve our communities better.
Now moving over to you, Tehan, a lot has been spoken about how the brands have been taken out onto the public during the pandemic. So with the onset of pandemic, a lot of work has been done with the brand Dettol, taking it out and contributing it through donations and creating awareness programs. So tell us a little bit in detail, how did you manage to do all this and contribute to the society with your brand?
Yeah, so Dima, the COVID pandemic was a time in everyone's life which I think no one has experienced before, caused massive hysteria across the world, especially in Sri Lanka as well. So during that period, both government and the private sector came together to combat this pandemic, and likewise Dettol stepped up. We partnered with many entities. We partnered with the Red Cross Society in Sri Lanka, as well as various media outlets to conduct disinfection programs across public locations. When the lockdowns were opened up and released, we saw the public moving about to ensure their safety. We conducted disinfection programs across public transportation locations, bus stations, railway stations, as well as we conducted disinfection programs across 300 police stations across the western region, because that was, I would say, a very I wouldn't say it was a breeding ground for the COVID virus to spread, because a lot of citizens would come to the police station to get their curfew passes and also different other various reasons. So ensuring those locations were kept hygienically clean was very important. And also, as you mentioned, Dettol stepped up to provide its products as donations to locations such as hospitals, quarantine centers, and also to keep our frontline safety workers, our healthcare workers safe, also the armed forces and the police officers as well. To keep them safe, we provided our products as donations. Along with that, we placed hand wash units across the country. As I mentioned, in public transportation locations, hospitals, quarantine centers, we kept our hand wash stations freely accessible to the general public so that they can be hygienically clean and help in combating the COVID virus. Dettol has been famous to have very meaningful communications and content in the past, and none more so, I think, more effective than one of the, I think, game-changing campaigns that a brand did during the pandemic period was the Dettol TikTok Hand Wash Challenge. So we saw an urgency to educate the public on the importance of hand washing, and no better audience would be able to take that message forward into the public than the youth. So TikTok was a platform that was growing across the world, and it was just making its inroads into Sri Lanka as well. So we used that as a platform to educate the youth of the country on the proper steps of hand washing, and we used a lot of partnerships with credible personalities across the industries and the country to get that message out. And that campaign, I believe, was gained a lot of momentum during that period, and also was awarded quite a few awards in the recent Nielsen People's Awards, as well as the DGs as well. So I think during that period, Dettol definitely stepped up to be one of those brands that has a strong purpose behind it.
And we've been talking a little bit about how your approach has been towards with your brands to the community in the past few years. Now let's focus on the future. Chathurika, you've had some great and amazing initiatives in the past few years. What's your approach for the future?
Well, while we spoke about the pandemic in our discussions a lot, I feel a brand like Dettol and the role that it plays in our community is timeless. So we don't have to really face a pandemic or a situation of that nature for a brand like Dettol to actually step up and do what our brands do for the community. So over the past decade, even before the pandemic, if we've even heard of the pandemic, we've been doing a lot of work for our communities to enhance their health and well-being. So some of those activities would be the Dettol New Moms program, where we specifically focus on the health and well-being of new moms and their babies. And then the Dettol School Hand Washing program, where nationally we go into schools and educate children about the importance of hand washing. And also, of course, the Dettol Public Sanitation program. So like I said, these are activities that don't necessarily focus on a particular time period. These are activities that should have happened from a while back, which we have been doing, and they need to continue for the future as well. So we feel that these activities need to continue, and that is what we aspire to do, because that's what our brands stand for. Purpose is at the core of everything we do, and protection and healing of our communities is what we look for. So these activities will definitely continue, and we want to continue to add value to these activities and really scale them up on a national level.
We've been talking about the three pillars of Reckitt Sri Lanka: health, hygiene and nutrition. We've covered health and hygiene. Let's move to Tehan and talk a little bit about nutrition. Tell us how the nutrition side of the company has been taken care of.
Yeah, so Reckitt acquired Mead Johnson Nutrition back in 2018. So Mead Johnson Nutrition has more than 100 years of nutrition excellence within Sri Lanka as well. So the nutrition portfolio includes products that cater to infants all the way to adults. So we have the Enfa brand leading nutrition for infants, growing up children, as well as maternal adults as well for pregnant mothers. And then we have Susten, which has been a heritage brand, which has had more than 100 years of nutrition excellence within the country as well, catering to adults. And most recently we relaunched the Susten Junior range as well, which is also for children from ages 6 to 11. So our portfolio is vast. Nutrition is a very important part of our day-to-day lives, which in most cases gets overlooked. So getting the right nutrition is very key, and that is exactly what we as an organization is out there to achieve, to ensure that the communities are getting the right nutrition and also are educated appropriately on why nutrition is important. Because our compass in Reckitt is to protect, heal and nurture. So that nurture aspect for the nutrition business unit, I would say, is very important, and you would see some great campaigns and plans coming out in the future for those brands that I mentioned.
Let's wrap it up with a final talk about the awards and the recognition that you have received for the company and your brand as well.
Yeah, so we never work for recognitions or awards. It's just that the amount of work that we have done is so much that these independent bodies has appreciated what we have done. And for an example, the household care brand of the year for Harpic is something that we have been getting for years and years, which means we are very consistent in what we do. And also the most loved brand for Dettol is something that is nothing new for us. So which means it's been accepted and appreciated by the community. So the recognitions that we have received is a testament, I would say, to the purpose-led approach that we have for each of our brands. And developing those brands and promoting it and getting close to consumers is something that we would want to do every day. So it's also a validation of our commitment that we have given to consumers. And I also would like to thank especially to all our partners, our business partners, our partners who are working with us, different agencies, and also especially a big thank to the regional office who is giving us continuous guidance on the brand activities that we do. Also to all employees who work at Reckitt. I think these are the success pillars that we have at Reckitt. So all in all, what I want to say is that to build a healthier and a cleaner Sri Lanka, we have done a lot in the past, and our commitment will remain the same for future as well. So what we believe is that we would want to make a positive impact to the lives of consumers every day, and which we will believe and which we will continue to do, and that's what we stand for.
Thank you for sitting down with me today and having this conversation. Well, that concludes another high exclusive right here on Daily Mirror. Until we see you again next time, take care and be safe.